He's ambitious and dreamer, and certainly not a person who is breaking a broken heart. Now we are talking about Andrew Lambrou, who is here with us today. Hello Andrew, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Lovely to be here.
While you were in Sydney, did you go to a Greek school or an English school?
You know, it's funny, I actually didn't go to Greek school. I had English school back home, and the one request I've asked my parents is to speak more Greek in the house, and to Yayamba too. I say, please talk to me in Greek, so I start to learn, you know?
Oh wow! Do you have any memories in Cyprus?
All the memories I'm making right now, to be honest with you. I came to Cyprus for the first time only a few months ago, but I've heard all these stories from my yaya, my bapu, my parents.
I guess that you know about the Turkish invasion in 1974.
They've told me everything.
What does Cyprus mean to you?
So, to me, the only thing that takes away from how Cypriot I am is my inability to speak Greek. Every other aspect about me is very much Cypriot. My grandparents, every single tradition from Cyprus is very, very strong back home. For example, I'm from Paphos.
Really? I'm from Paphos too?
Yeah, and we made baskia the other day and flauna, and I was with my yambapu and my mum and my sister, and everyone were all making flauna and baskia and getting ready for Easter. All the traditions that are here and strong in Cyprus, we have back home, and that's credit to my Yambapu. They brought everything back.
Wow, what is your village in Paphos?
Bapu, it's Bea and Gathika.
I am from Peja too. Maybe you were relatives.
We probably are.
Oh my God.
But it's funny, I went to church, midnight mass for Easter, and it was quite windy, and we had the candles, we're lighting the candles, and my yaya said, you have to bring the candle to my place to light the gomboloi. And I was trying to keep the flame because it was windy and we were protecting it, and yaya couldn't come to church this year because she's sick at the moment, so we made sure we did that, and we lit it for yaya, and she was happy.
Your yaya was in Peja or it was in Sydney with you?
Peja, but she's born in Australia, my yaya. My bapu, Lambrou, is born in Gathika.
So let's talk about your video right now. Who do you think is your main rival? Which country?
Look, I'm just going to be honest with you. The slogan for this year is United by Music, and that is always the case with Eurovision, always the case. And although it is a competition, but we're all artists that are showing our art forms to the world, and we've all been given this amazing opportunity to be representing our country at Eurovision. So I think I don't think like that when I think of competition. I just have a job to do, and I'm going to do that and do my best, and what will be after. But yeah.
Well, now I want to ask you, what is your main goal? To reach the first place for Cyprus, or to become globally known?
Oh, well, of course, if I reach first place for Cyprus, I would cry, 100%. But I think for me, it is about following what I love to do, which is music. It always has been. And wherever that might take me, I'm happy to go there. For example, it's led me to this chair right now, getting ready for Eurovision and talking to you. And that's something that I'm very proud of, and I'm just following my passion.
Rita Ora is about to perform in Liverpool in the semi-finals of Eurovision. But do you know that in 2009 she was about to perform for the UK, but she turned down the proposal?
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now you know. So, you know, sometimes in life we have two different kind of roads. If we go with the option A, then we are ending to another road. If we take option B, then we are taking somewhere else. So did you have that hesitation in front of yourself some of your days?
That's a good question. I remember talking to my parents, and they said, when I was young, my yaya used to say to me, oh, you're going to be on the Eurovision stage, because we used to watch it every year. And it's interesting when the opportunity presented itself to me, because it's been something in my head from a young boy, so when it did come, it was easy for me to make the decision. It's a big decision, It's a lot to do, but I think you just have to believe in yourself. If that's the one thing I can give to any of the artists and to myself, of course, is believe in yourself as Cyprus is believing in me, as the team believes in me to choose me.
I know that you live in Sydney, but how did you end up representing Cyprus in the Eurovision Song Contest?
Well, I competed in Australia Decides, the national selection show, and it was a great experience. It was something new to me in terms of the staging and the way that the performance was. It was a bit new to me. But then Cyprus reached out to me and we started talking, and it was this crazy, I was just going about...
You didn't believe it?
Yeah, I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way this email is legitimate, but it was. And we started talking, and then the song presented itself to me, and the song really speaks to me, this one, and I think that's really important because I have a job to do on stage. I have to convey what I'm feeling in quite a vulnerable way, actually, to the world. And yeah, that's something that's really important to me, and it feels inspiring as an artist to be able to feel that in the song I'm performing.
And the energy.
And it's also for Cyprus, for Eurovision. It's special.
I know that you are participating on the X Factor Australia, but I know also that you write songs. Why you didn't go with your own song?
When we were in discussions, there's so much to do with Eurovision. There's all these different pieces of the puzzle you have to put together, and there's limited time. And when you're picking a Eurovision song, you want something good. Okay, and sometimes I could go into the studio tomorrow and write that song, but it can be difficult to do that with all the other things that I have to do. So we started sourcing songs from elsewhere, and we've ended up with the song that I have now. But just with the limited time, that's why I didn't do that.
Do you have a Eurovision crush?
I don't know about crush, but I remember when I was young and I was watching Helena Paparizou.
In 2005.
Yeah, and that was a very amazing moment for me. She looked fantastic on stage, she sounded fantastic, that made me fall in love with Eurovision, and so that's a special one for me.
Now, speaking about love, I know that you were in love with a Greek girl in the past, not right now, but tell me, if you are going to leave Australia in order to live a life with a Greek girl in Greece or Cyprus?
For me, it doesn't matter where you are in the world if you're the right person, and you know, there's many Greeks and Cypriots all over the world, so whoever's the right one, that's it for me.
You know, sometimes in life we do crazy things, and of course about love, because love is not only a word. What have you done about love, and it was the craziest thing ever?
I think the craziest thing I've ever done is, how do I put it? When I was younger, you kind of change yourself a bit to make things work, but as I'm older now, you don't change who you are. The right person will be the right fit for who you are. So, yeah, maybe trying to mold myself was the wrong thing to do, and now understanding that you be yourself, and if someone doesn't like who you are, that's not the person for you.
Speaking about experiences, can you recall the most difficult time for you? Maybe it was a situation with your health or somebody else's, or you lost a friend.
Oh, you're going to bring an emotional side out of me. So I think one of the most difficult times for me, I was in Los Angeles. I was writing music for 3 months. Doesn't sound very difficult, does it? But on the last week, I get this phone call from my baba, and he told me that my bapu has had a really bad accident. My bapu was a very hard-working man. He was an electrician, always fixing things, anything. And he was on the roof fixing something in the house, as he always was. Windy day, the roof collapsed, and he broke his neck. And we thought we were going to lose bapu. So I flew from America back home, all my family there, very emotional time, very difficult flight coming back home for me. A lot of emotions going through my head then. And bapu is such a strong man, he survives, but my bapu is now a full-body quadriplegic. He can't move, and it's hard to see someone that works so hard with his body, with his hands, his life is through what he would do, not be able to move in that way. That's probably one of the most difficult things that I've had to deal with. I haven't experienced loss yet, and I'm getting quite dark. I hope that's okay.
No, it's okay. Do your thing.
Yeah, but you know, and I also want to say my yaya, my bapu's wife, she has cancer at the moment, and that gives me a lot of strength going into Eurovision, because I'm doing this for me, I'm doing this for Cyprus, my family, I'm doing this for my yaya.
So you're going to dedicate it to your yaya?
Yeah. Yeah, because she's holding on for me.
Okay, so let's close this conversation with your song. Wow, that was huge. Thank you so much for this conversation. Indeed, you are really good. And of course, I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.